Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to pull some cards, and I had this really crazy question pop into my head, and I thought, oh my gosh, I was thinking, what am I going to read on today? I wanted to do a little bit of a reading for you, and I wanted to pull cards, and I wanted to see, the question that I have is, somebody's been talking about this for a long time, and so I won't keep you in suspense, but the question that I have is the White House haunted? People have been talking about this as being something that has some legs to it, and they're saying that the Lincoln bedroom is really, really haunted, and the big fat orange problem put Dr. Evil in that room. I call Dr. Evil as the head of Tesla. I have to come up with my own little nicknames for these folks because I really don't want to say their actual names on my channel because I don't want to like stir up energy problems and stuff. So the question is the White House haunted? So I got my yes and no deck and I'm going to pull a card and see if it is actually haunted. Um, okay. And I've been pulling nothing but yes cards yesterday, and I got another one. Yes. The White House is haunted. Okay, this is something that I had been told a long time ago that historians were saying that because of what happened to President Lincoln back in the day when he went to the theater, which was a big mistake, but it is what it is. When President Lincoln went to the theater, he Bang Bang and that all that, and John Wilkes Booth and all that. Anybody who studies history will know this stuff. And so, the question is about the White House being haunted and about the big fat orange problem putting Dr. Evil into the Lincoln bedroom. And if he was aware that the room was haunted, or that Lincoln haunted that room, or something like that. So that in history, in a historical context, the White House was built on the backs um, of slaves. It was built on the backs of um, African slaves that were brought over from Africa. So this was something that this is why a lot of people talk about paying retribution back to the ancestors of these African slaves. So, but at any rate, so that's just a little bit of history that I actually understand because I'd actually studied U.S. history in college, and I also had to study it in high school and everything. So, and I'm a little bit congested, so please excuse me. Um, so I'm going to pull these cards. I'm going to see what it can tell me about the White House, or in a more more even context, about the Lincoln bedrooms. So I'm going to attempt to pull tarot on the Lincoln bedroom and the White House and the haunting of the White House. Um, and then I will ask if the Orange Menace is being haunted, because somebody else had actually said this and they did a reading on it. I thought it was interesting. But first I'm going to ask, is the White House haunted? Is there some supernatural stuff going on in the White House? Yeah. So, these good? I may have to grab a tissue, but right now I'm okay, so got that. So, is the White House haunted? Oh, and yesterday when I did the meditation, one of my commenters said that there was an orb around the right side of my head. And I had to watch the video. I had to watch that specific spot 2 or 3 times to actually see it. And yeah, there was one. And I was like going, wow, that's the first time that's ever happened. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so back to the reading. I just had to mention that because I thought that was very cool. So here we go. Is the White House haunted? Is the White House haunted? Is the White House haunted? Okay, this will stop here. Okay. Okay. The White House. And I got the Six of Swords. This is going um in essence it's like going up the river, but this woman looks like she's kind of handling, this is starting a new journey, going on a new journey, having a new adventure, if you will. So I don't know if this tells me if it's haunted, but it does tell me that there is something to be said for looking into it to see, if there's supernatural activities going on in the White House itself. And is crossed with the Queen of Wands. This is the feminine energy, the nice, peaceful feminine energy that it signifies the this positive energy. Also, with this crossed with this, it's hard to tell. And sorry about the extra outside noise. My husband's got something playing in there. My mobile keeps going off, making chirpy noises and stuff. So that's what that all that is. So there's no supernatural activity going on here. It's just it's all man-made. But at any rate, so we got it crossed with the Queen of Wands. Underlying all of this is the world. Well, the world. This is the beginnings and endings. So yeah, it could imply that there is some kind of supernatural activity going on there. When you have the World card, it's the beginnings and endings. So this is the last card in the major arcana, and it also implies the beginnings and the endings of something. Now, whether or not these cards tell me if the White House is haunted, I don't really know, but I do think that this is that if there is ghost activity going on in the White House, that this card might actually answer that question, beginnings and endings. Yeah, there may very well be. In the immediate past, we have the Three of Wands. I always call this the setting, the longing to set sail card. He's looking out at the ship and the bird above the ship. I feel that this is kind of like looking. I think maybe this is the people that are looking at this and they're like saying, they're questioning whether or not there is supernatural activity going on in the White House itself. But given the history of the building, I mean, just the building itself, and given the past presidents and the past events that went on there, I am led to believe that yeah, there is something going on given these cards. Um, there's a lot of feminine energy. I mean, most of these people in these cards, the Six of Swords, the Queen of the Wands, and the World card, it's all women. It's all women. Feminine energy. Feminine energy. Could this be the the wife of President Lincoln who's haunting the place? It's very hard to tell. But it's very interesting that you have the male figure who's basically looking on, but all of the activity is being done by the female energy, by the feminine. So that's really interesting. And then we have the Ace of Wands in the immediate future. This is the Ace. I don't know. The Ace of Wands is the beginnings of something, the positive beginning. This is a sort of an action card. I think it's implies actions taking place or actions being undertaken. So when you look at this and you ask if the White House is haunted, then you look at this card and you see this. Um, it may have already been haunted for a long time, and now with the evil energy, the dark energy that is encompassing the place, this is now starting to really come out that there is more ghost activity going on because energy uh, like energy feeds off itself. Like positive energy feeds off positive energy, which gives more positive energy. And negative energy feeds off on negative energy. When you have somebody really negative in a place and that person embodies this place, then there is a possibility that there could be that negative energy coming in and overtaking the place. So this is what my guides are telling me, that this is this energy that is very negative that's happening in this building, in this place, has an impact on the on what happens with the with with the supernatural activities. If you have somebody who is positive, like Obama, very positive person, and whether you liked his politics or not, this man was someone who occupied the office, and he was not a negative person. He had a positive uh, attitude. His wife had a very positive spiritual attitude. So when you get these kind of people in there, then it kind of coalesces around this positive energy. So there has that positive energy that is embodied in the place. But when you get somebody that is the counter of that, who is negative, who is nasty, who is evil, then that kind of energy kind of emanates that place, which is why we always say that that people have to try and keep a positive attitude, because that positive attitude, when people make affirmations, when they say positive things, then that all of that positivity encompasses that person, and then they are able to they're able to go work through all of the things that are going on. So I think that when you have this card coming out and saying this is the start of something, then this is the start of that maybe all of this negative energy that is encompassing this person um, is being expressed through the ghostly activities that are happening around him. That's just that's an assertion. I don't know if this is true, but the next card is the moon card, which I always call the howling at the moon. This is the what I always get is the howling at the moon, the dogs baying at the moon, whining, complaining, crying, yowling, all of that. So this card is the embodiment of that sort of energy, that energy that's kind of encompassing this place. And then we have the High Priestess, another feminine energy card. And this is the Major Arcana. And this is the third major arcana for this read, and it is a female feminine energy. So I think that there may be, what I'm getting is that there may be feminine spirits in the White House. Not necessarily, I thought it would be the presidents. I thought it would be like Abraham Lincoln or something. But Abraham Lincoln was a very good man, or Honest Abe, as they called him. So maybe he didn't really need to be haunting the White House. Maybe he didn't need it, but maybe there was a woman, a feminine energy that is haunting the White House, that is there and is trying to make herself known. And women are more sensitive to things. And women see the evil oftentimes before men do. And when you have all of these feminine energy and you have all these feminine people coming in and expressing through what's going on, I feel like I'm Italian because I keep moving my hands around. But when you have somebody that's feminine coming in and saying, "Yeah, I don't like what this guy is doing," then there's something going on. So I think there's a feminine energy that is in the White House, in the Lincoln bedroom specifically, and in different places. How other people see it is the Five of Cups. And you know what I think this is? I think this is his response to all of this energy that's happening in the White House. He is being encompassed by it. People ask, why is he going off and playing golf all the time? Why is he going off? He's running away from the White House. He does not want to be there. He does not want to experience or explore what is going on in the White House. And this is him. I have to pause for a second. Okay. Sorry about that. The doorbell rang and I had to go and see who it was. And I think that somebody's just kind of ringing the bell and then running off or something, but I don't know. Anyway, so as I was saying, Five of Cups, this was his reaction or response to what was going on. And I think that this is the breaking down of the person's spiritual or mental trying to get centered here, and it's like very difficult here. So, there we go. Okay, instead of me moving, I should just move the camera, but live and learn. But anyway, I think that this is why he goes off to play golf all the time. He is really scared. I think that there's a sense of fear here that's going on. And final outcome is the death card. Endings. So this may not necessarily be physical death, but it is kind of interesting that this is the outcome card for a read about the White House being haunted. I think that this is very telling because I don't know if this will necessarily be the end of physical life, but when you have these two cards right next to each other in a reading, this gives me the impression of he is going to go completely mad because of what's going on. So I get the impression or the feeling that there is some haunting going on. A haunting we will go. And he may not be all that keen on what's happening, but he is definitely experiencing something. Something is definitely going on in the White House. This whole feeling is that he is having to contend with the issue of the White House having some kind of haunting going on. I'm gonna turn this off because it's like making me crazy, or at least turn the volume down here. Okay, now it won't bother me. Okay, so I think that there is something going on with this, and he is being haunted by it. Um, I was going to ask if he was being haunted or if he was aware of the haunting, or if he was aware that there was, people may not s- consciously be aware that something is going on, but it may be an unconscious thing that this is happening, and that people are are seeing this or just kind of, I don't want to say seeing it, but they're like they're feeling it, they're sensing it that it's going on. Um, so um, let's see. What can we do? Will will the spirit in the White House? Let's just ask specifically about the spirit in the White House, so maybe we can get some message through that. Is this a positive energy? Is the spirit in the White House positive energy? Is the spirit in the White House a positive energy? Spirit in the White positive energy. It's like, well, let me ask the yes and no cards. Is the spirit in the White House a positive energy? Positive as in nicht, nicht malevolent, but rather malevolent, benevolent. Benevolent is I think the positive or the kinder or whatever spirit. Malevolent is the evil spirit. So, is the spirit in the White House, is this a malevolent or benevolent spirit? Is this a kind spirit? Is this a kind spirit? Yes. This is a kind spirit, so it is counter to the evil, that the darkness that is there. So basically, this spirit is trying to, I get the impression that the spirit is trying to, I'm going to say she because it sound, I get the impression it's a woman. Let me see. Is the spirit in the White House, the benevolent spirit in the White House, is it a female spirit? Is it a woman? Is it a woman? Card. Yes, it's a woman. Okay, so that's what I get. Okay, so this is a benevolent spirit, and does this spirit feel affronted by, or let's see, let's try this. Does the spirit feel affronted by the evil energy that is in the White House right now? Does she feel affronted by this evil spirit, the evil energy in the White House? Does she feel affronted by the evil spirit, evil energy in the White House? This one? Yes. And I do have no cards. See, there's a no card, there's a no card, and there's a no card. So, and there's another no card, and yet another no card, and there's another yes card. Okay, so as you can see, there are no cards here. I have, there's 28 cards, 12 are yes, 12 are no, and then four of them are blank. And which is why I put the little hearts on the side here, because so that if I hold up a blank card, let me see if I can find it. Here's a blank card. So if I hold up a blank card and say it's a blank card, I can just turn it over and there's the heart. So you know that this is a blank card, that I'm not doing any sort of sleight of hand or anything like that. So that's why I did the little hearts on the corner of the cards, because I wanted to make sure that you knew that when I held up a card that it was a blank card. And just so you know, no, no, yes, okay, here. Just so you know, these are different cards. No, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes. And here's a blank one. So, so so that's the cards. That's the yes and no cards. Okay, so I'm not going to pull tarot on the on this, or should I? Should I pull? Okay, I'll pull tarot on the benevolent spirit in the White House. Um, is she affronted by? Okay, I asked if she was affronted by the evil energy in the White House, and I got the answer yes. So let's read on how how is she how is she dealing with this evil energy? How is she, you know, how is she dealing with this evil energy that she's affronted by? I think this is fun. This is just and this is for entertainment only. I'm just pulling cards just for fun, and I'm not doing anything to try and scare anybody or anything like that. It's just I'm just doing this for fun. I'm just trying to find questions to read on that may be a little bit different than, because there's so many political tarot people out there, and they're all really awesome and they're great, and it's like I don't want to step on their toes or anything like that. I just want to try practicing reading cards and see what I can get. And so this is why I'm doing this. So it's for entertainment only, yada yada yada. I'm just reading about ghosts in the White House. Okay, so that's cool. This benevolent spirit in the White House, is she affronted by the evil that's there right now? And I got again the World card, so beginnings and endings. So yeah, I think she is. I think she feels affronted by it. Um, and crossed with judgment. She is judging him. She is judging what's going on. She's judging what's happening. She doesn't like it. She's not happy. And my guide said, well, no duh, so the underlying energy is the Nine of Cups. So it seems to be that she's, and in the past, she was very, she was very accepting of whoever happened to be there. And now she just does not like the people that are there. She just doesn't like their energy. She doesn't like the way that they are. And that's what's happening. And then we've got the Chariot. And this is in the past, and the Chariot. And this is like the slow moving train that the nothing is really moving, but it's just stationary. So, and she's kind of contending with it. And overarching energies, Four Wands. This is the White House itself. This is the house. This is the house. This is where she resides, and she is not happy with the way things are. In the near future, we got the Wheel of Fortune. This is turn, and this is like uncertainty. What's going to happen? This is kind of. I think this is like sort of what's going to happen in a political sense, in what is the future of the White House? What is going to happen? Is the White House going to cease being the seat of the executive government, or is it going to change? Is something going to change? Somebody read that it was going to change, that the White House would no longer, they would turn it into a museum or something. But this is the uncertainty, the Wheel of Fortune. And then we've got the Three of Cups, and this, I always call this the fairies dancing card. This looks like they're, dancing, happiness, what have you. But they are dancing. And the next card we have is a Page of Swords. Very handsome chap here. Um, um, yeah, I'm not sure how to read on that as far as the spirit is concerned, but I think that this is probably the various people that come into the various rooms of the White House and her uh, reaction to them. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. So again, nice energy, youthful energy. I think that there's been that this is the kind of energy that she kind of coalesces around. And the final outcome is the Sun card. So I've got I got one, two, three, four, five major arcana cards. So yeah, she is I think she is a very, she's a very accepting, positive presence or energy, but what she's kind of dealing with is like not nice energy. So this is what we are, this is what the spiritual realm, I guess you could say, is dealing with regards to this. And but I think it's really quite interesting. And so I just thought, see what's going on beyond physical. But this question just popped into my mind, and I thought, oh, I'll just ask because I thought it would be fun, fun to ask about it. But it would seem to me that what I'm able to draw from it is that there is a feminine energy or a feminine spirit in the White House. She's not compatible with what's going on there, and so she is making her presence known, and she is haunting the place. And I think that that's what we can take away from it. So there you go. Yeah, kind of crazy, kind of silly read, but I just thought I would do something lighthearted, and it was kind of fun to give it a try and see what happens with it. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and yeah, we'll see what happens as far as everything's going with that. But I just thought it would be fun to do something a little bit more lighthearted, so that's why I decided to do that question. So, wish you a great day. Hope all is well with you, and take care. And as always, namaste.